Good morning and welcome to this exciting day to talk about businesses all around the world and the talking point in the world of business. It's Business 360. My name is Blyden Okem. In Business 360 today, we'll look at a key talking point in the world of business, the analysis especially regarding the Tottenham Hotspur owner, Joe Lewis. We'll also look at the corporate markets, what is happening in the tech industry, the perspective of the tech industry, also the commodity market, economic data all around the world, as well as the stock market. But beginning with Tottenham Hotspur owner Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis has been charged with orchestrating a brazen insider trading scheme, according to U.S. Attorney Damian Williams. Williams used a video announcement to accuse the British billionaire of using inside information to shower gifts on his friends and lovers. Mr. Lewis has been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York, Williams said. Quite concerning from that angle. In China, China has named Pan Guosheng as the new governor of its central bank, the People's Bank of China. The 60-year-old's appointment comes facing the world's second largest economy, a slowing growth, a housing market in crisis, and youth unemployment at a record high. Mr. Pan succeeds Yi Gang, who has held the top post at the People's Bank of China since 2010, signals recognition by the government that it needs an experienced economist with a track record in crisis management to help steer the country through its economic problems. In Africa, the Egyptian government has been busy selling state assets as it pushes for privatization amid continuing economic crisis. It is a move viewed as crucial for Egypt to overcome its hard currency shortage and its an important condition tied to a $3 billion International Monetary Fund loan signed in December 2022. In February, 32 state-owned companies were put up for sale, and despite some criticism about slow includes stake in petrochemical and drilling companies to the Abu Dhabi Development Fund. In Nigeria, yesterday, the suspended governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, appeared in court, denying illegally possessing a firearm and ammunition. This was the first time he was seen in public in more than a month. He was arrested but ordered the agency to file charges or release him. He has challenged his detention and filed an application for bail. Still on the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, said the country's economy is exposed to the fluctuation of prices and rates in the petroleum market, and the foreign exchange market has a moderated outlook for the global and domestic economies. The APEC banks disclosed that high prices of premium motor spirit (PMS) and other energy products, as well as pressure in the foreign exchange market, will affect the growth of Nigeria's economy, which the CBN projected will grow by 2.66% in 2023. The CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, has reaffirmed its commitment to gradually phase out the old 200 naira, 500 naira and 1000 naira notes while issuing new currencies. The announcement was made by the acting governor of the Apex Bank, Falashunan Shinobi, during the Monetary Policy Committee meeting on Tuesday. In October 2022, Godwin Emefiele, the former CBN governor, unveiled plans to redesign the 200 naira, 500 naira and 1000 naira bills. Nevertheless, in March 2023, the Supreme Court invalidated the naira redesign 2023. Now to the tech market. The question is, what should we watch for in
some of the smaller banks? Earnings season is upon us, and we've already seen surprises from big banks and, believe it or not, some of the smaller banks. They were full of surprises, and for the vast, I know there's the naysayers that have been saying all along that we would get in the second quarter of the year terrible earnings, but we haven't seen them. Cars, all this, still in strong demand. Then you look at Microsoft and other companies with the cloud computing. No, these days I haven't seen the problems that some might be expecting.
A good outlook looking at the state of things in the tech companies and the tech market. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at global economy, economic data all around the world. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It is Business 360. My name is Blyden Ukem. Now to global economy. Looking at economic calendar, the expected data releases for today. The calendar first, and afterwards we'll look at the new outlook of IMF as IMF raises 2023 global growth forecast, the economic calendar. According to the calendar this morning, at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, inflation rate year-on-year for Australia came out for second quarter at 6%. Previously, it stood at 7%. Consensus and forecast indicated 6.3%, but inflation rating stood at 6%, indicating improvement in the cost of commodities. So inflation rates quarter on quarter in the second quarter of Australia came out at 0.8%. Let's look at further standings in these standings and opportunities. As at 2:30 a.m., the CPI Consumer Price Index in Australia came out at 133.7 points index. Previous standing was 132.6 index level, and the forecast was 134 index level. So talking about data around the world, the IMF in 2023, which has been revised upward from the April assessment of 2.8% growth, according to the latest update of the International Monetary Fund's World Economic Outlook. However, it still remains weak by historical standards due to the impact of a central bank policy rate increases aimed at combating inflation. The 2024 projection was unchanged at 3%. The IMF also stated it expected for global inflation to decline to 6.8% in 2023 and further to 5.2% in 2024, while the core rate is projected to decrease at a more gradual pace. In terms of individual economies, the US economy is predicted to grow by 1.8% this year and 1% in 2024. In the euro area in 2024, the UK is likely to experience growth of just 0.4% in 2023 and 1% in the following year. As for China and Japan, they are forecasted to grow by 5.2% and 1.4% respectively in 2023 and by 4.5% and 1% in 2024. Let's move to the chart indicating world full-year GDP growth in the world. The chart this morning, it had dropped to 2.8%, but improved to 3.3% in 2018 and was a huge deficit, a slowdown, a contraction of a negative 3.1% in 2020 amid that COVID-19 period, and went further upward to a high of 6% and 3.1% in 2022. And the growth rate forecast continues. Let's look at the growth rate in Africa according to International Monetary Fund and Nigeria. The International Monetary Fund has projected that Nigeria's economic growth will decline in 2023 and 2024 due to security issues in the oil sector. It stated that the country's economy will fall. Nigeria's growth is below projection for the sub-Saharan African region, which is expected to grow by 3.5% in 2023 and 4.1% in 2024, according to reports. In Australia, the annual inflation rate in Australia fell to 6% in the second, was the lowest print since the third quarter of 2022, also marking the second straight quarter of easing inflation, with food prices rising the least in a year. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of Australia's trimmed mean CPI rose by 5.9% year-on-year, the softest gain in 4 quarters, but remain outside the central bank's 2 to 3% target. Let's look at the charts indicating Australia's inflation rate, what inflation has been within the country in a span of 2020 July. It began to increase slowly in 2021, got to 3.8% July 2021, and by January 2022, inflation peak in January this year, but it's beginning to slow down slowly, 7% and 6% currently, indicating a slowdown in the price of commodities and another 25 basis points to 18.75% in a decision announced yesterday, July 25, 2023, and less than expectation. It marks the fourth consecutive rate hike so far this year, bringing borrowing costs to the highest level since the monetary policy rate was at Godwin Emefiele, who had used unorthodox policies to keep the country's currency artificially strong and lend directly to businesses to try to boost economic growth. The headline inflation rate in Nigeria accelerated for the sixth month to 22.79% in June 2023, its highest over the year in Nigeria. The chart this morning. Interest rate chart has shown higher interest rate in ascending. Interest rate was below 12%, but kept April 2022 kept going higher to just below about 13% in July 2022. But this year, January 2023, it gone up a little to close to 17%. A huge fight against inflation that is increasing in the country. Now to the commodities, the commodity market, beginning with the energy market. Oil eases on surprise US stock build. Let's talk about it. WTI crude futures fell towards $79 per barrel today after an industry report showed that US crude barrels decline. Investors also lightened holdings on risk assets ahead of an expected interest rate hike from the US Federal Reserve today. Still, the US oil benchmark remained close to 3-month highs as the prospect of tighter global supplies and stronger Chinese demand buoyed prices to take additional measures if needed. On the demand side, China pledged to ramp up policy support for its flagging economy with a focus on boosting domestic demand and helping the ailing property market. Let's get to the energy market. Amid all the conversation to see what the prices are this morning, the price for crude oil and Brent crude, the energy market this morning. Market standings have shown slight negativity on one hand and a slight positivity on the other hand. For US crude, the West Texas Intermediary crude, current price is $78 per barrel, a slight decline of 0.78 points, a negative 0.98% decline. For Brent, which is Nigeria's price benchmark, the current price is $83 per barrel, dropping slightly 0.562 points, a negative 0.67 points. Natural gas, little here, little there, gasoline, and other derivative of crude are a little here, a little there. No significant difference in the market. Let's look at the agricultural market then. A 0.12% appreciation. The price for soybeans is $1,517 per bushel. But wheat price has shown huge decline this morning, 19.11 points, a negative 2.51% decline. $741 per bushel is the price of wheat. Similarly, lumber is downward by 14 points, palm oil dropping 21. Metals, despite other alienation from cotton and the rest, metal market gives a direction for gold. Gold price is going up 7.14 points this morning. $1,971 per ounce is the price, a 0.36% appreciation. Silver is slightly downward this morning, but not a significant difference in the market in terms of downward movement. For copper, similar story, a negative 0.46% decline. Steel price has gained 10 points this morning, a 0.27% appreciation. 3,760 Chinese yuan per ton is the price of steel. Platinum is slightly downward by 2.1 points, and lithium drops 7,000 points this morning, a negative 2.38% decline. 287,500 Chinese yuan per ton is the price of the metal used in making batteries. Of Bitcoin. The question is why Bitcoin is dominating the crypto markets. Bitcoin is increasingly dominant in the crypto market. Between January and July of this year, Bitcoin's share of a total crypto market cap went up from 39% to 45%. Here,
Bitcoin accounted for 39% of the total cryptocurrency market cap, and Ethereum was at roughly 18%. Now, since that time, Bitcoin has ballooned to 49%, and Ethereum has stayed pretty much the same at around 18%. Now, a couple of theories have outpaced the field. They viewed that move as a type of flight to quality within the space in response to broader economic worries. Now, another view is that the movement of many large, least volatile coin. Whatever the reason, it changes the narrative of the big two coins and has created much more interest in pairs trades within the space. To satisfy that demand, the CME has recently launched a single futures contract to trade Bitcoin versus Ethereum in appropriate ratios. Traders will now be closely watching the relationship between the pair and the potential for
cryptocurrency market first and see what the prices for these digital coins are this morning. The crypto market. The market this morning has shown some negativity for Bitcoin on our repos and Postcard also. Slight decline in the morning market for Bitcoin prices. 29,850 US dollar is the price of Ether. Let's get to other foreign pairs and see the prices for the euro against the US dollar and Naira's perspective. No significant difference in the market for the pounds against the US dollar. It's dropped down from 1.30 points and now it's currently at 1 point. Let's look at Naira's perspective regarding this market. The US dollar against the Naira. The euro failed against the Naira, dropping a negative 8.57 points at the close of yesterday's market. Be a negative 0.98% decline for the euro. And the pound against the Naira, 1,007 Naira equaling 1 pound, a dropping of 8.93 points. In favor of the Naira. Paro market prices are still high in the Paro market as 870 Naira equals $1 at the buying rate. Indicates a price level of 1,168 Naira to 1 pound. Buying rate and selling rate 1,101 Naira to a pound. Euro to Naira is 948 Naira. So here we draw the curtain in today's edition of Business 360. My name is Vladimir Kim. Thank you for watching.